everyone, it's Elise. Welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about all things personal finance. And this video is all about June's installment of how my emergency fund is going and my number one financial goal of increasing it by $6,000. I do these videos, this is I think my 6th video so far this year, to keep myself accountable because last year I did atrocious at this goal and I saved less than like $300. As well as to show that I am relatable in the fact that I am a low income earner. I don't make a lot of money. So whenever I save $1 for referral, it's like what people who make more than me are saving with $10. My dollar has to stretch immensely. So before I go into June's goings on, as far as like, was I able to meet my goals or not, I want to give like a few updates that happens between this month and last month. So the first one is that between the middle of June or June period and a little bit into July, I have not had any emergencies, which is half the battle, because on top of watching to see my money grow, if I'm able to put this money away, part of this process is staving off as many emergencies as I can, because I did have a lot of emergencies last year, many emergencies, but that ate up all the progress that I had. And this year I've had some around the first quarter. So I'm happy to say that in June there were none, which is awesome. The second thing I gotta say is that I kind of think that I made an emergency of myself, and I'm going to explain right now. I have decided to give myself a little mini goal, and that started a few days ago in July, to prepare myself for something that I ultimately want to pay off. So that means that low spending is back on the table. We are actually past low spending and we're really doing no spending for the rest of 2025, because you're gonna find out in a few moments when I tell you what my mini goal is. But ultimately, low spending for me the last, I would say 3 months, was getting tiring, and I was like, I wanna spend my money a little bit. Now that has to go out the window, and I think I'll be able to handle it because mentally, I can talk myself into a lot of things. Like, there's not much I can't talk myself into and not see the bright side on it. And should I be able to do this for the next 6 months, which already I'm telling myself it's only 6 months. Actually, it's not, it's more than 6 months, but I'm kicking it into getting into 6 months. But I'm telling myself that this is a short time thing for like the big goal. And the big goal is to be a little bit more financially free. Now, what is this mini goal? Y'all, I have a bad loan. I have a bad $5,000 loan. Do not ask me how I got into this, but this just goes to show everybody can get tied up. And what I will say, I'll do long story short. So the loan is a second mortgage that I have on my home. I bought this home going on 9 years now, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm not gonna say it wasn't explained to me, the benefit, but I don't really remember what the benefit is. What I will say is about 2 years ago, the loan was sold to a different bank. And I hate when banks do that, mortgage companies do that, because I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up for this. And they do it all the time, because with my primary mortgage, I'm on the third bank. So it's hell of annoying, but whatever. With the second mortgage, they sold it 2 years ago, and it started out as like $6,200, and now the balance is $5,100. But I will say I have noticed the last 12 months, and if I have the receipts, I'll put them on the screen. I have been making payments, and I have been tracking it at least for 6 months, and the balance is not going down. Another part of the long story being short is only $50 a month on top of my regular mortgage payment. But I want y'all to imagine $50 you're just giving away in perpetuity. I don't like that feeling, because that's my $50 that I work hard for. And why do you get it? Why does the bank just get my $50? I did notice that my mortgage rate is high. I don't remember it being that high, but I'm not gonna lie, when it switched, they say that everything was the same. So that must mean that I signed up for the 6.99, I believe, or around there mortgage rate when I signed for the original buying of the home. But that just seems high for me, and that is part of the reason why I see that the balance isn't going down. And I don't want in 10 years, I'm still paying $50 a month, and the balance instead of $5,100 is $5,000, only $100 off. So I realized that I have an opportunity, this 12 month to 18-month opportunity where I can pay that $5,000 off. I just want it done. But again, I don't make a lot of money, so I gotta find the money, and there is some room in my budget, but it might be, what does Dave Ramsey call it? Rice and beans type of budget. Might be for these next at least 6 months to see how far I can get there, because I want this money gone. And it's kind of like that debt payoff when I was paying off my student loans. It seems hard in the beginning, but once you nick at it little by little, it can be gone. And $5,000 is, in the big scheme of things, is not a lot of money. I just have to find the money. And I have things that are coming up in my 5 to 10 year plan. On top of that, I have a car that I need to buy. That $50 can cut my $300 payment to $250 off rip. I want that to happen more so than me just giving money to this bank, right? And then also in my 5 to 10 year plan, I want to renovate my home, and I really don't see me postponing it just because I'm buying a car. I need to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, and I can't have $50, $300, and $500 for my home. I don't like all those payments. Right now I'm living a life where I don't have any debt set for my home, and I'm realizing part of life is I'm gonna have to acquire it, fine, but I'm gonna mitigate it. So those are the updates between now and what happened a month ago. I didn't have emergency, but then I kind of created one for myself. So we're gonna go now into how I did for last month to see how July is going to fare as well. Alrighty guys, so now I'm over here in my office and I'm looking at my 2025 emergency fund tracker. I made this out of Google Sheets, and I actually kind of added it as a second Google Sheet to a financial tracker that I downloaded and bought from a financial literacy influencer on TikTok. That's why I don't really share it, because it's hers, even though I paid for it. And yeah, but I don't think you necessarily need mine or somebody else's. I honestly started doing this on pen and paper back in the day when these digital trackers weren't a thing. So the first fund is $129 that I added for June. That brings my balance for that fund to $774 for the year, which has me on track. That fund is the pay yourself first fund. Just like I have to pay my mortgage every month, I have to make sure that I pay myself every month, because we cannot be okay with paying everybody and not giving ourselves something. Now, the second one is my paycheck fund, where I kind of also tricked myself. So that's $40 per check, and I put 40 times 2. I got 2 paychecks in June, and I was able to pay that. So that's $80. That's another thing. Every paycheck, let's say it's $500, it's like saving $10 per paycheck, just because you don't know, you might need to buy yourself something. You might find yourself stranded on the road. $20 every month goes to help a lot. Now, my dividend payout that I get every quarter, nothing is happening for June, because I get that in August next, so that's $0, but that's okay. It's not supposed to happen right now. And the last fund, what's the last fund? Is my cash fund. In May, I skipped out, only did 30 out of 40. This month, I was able to give myself $40, save that for cash. And I started doing cash a while ago because I was never someone who carried cash. Now, I have some cash. It's not a lot, but these are little ways I trick myself into it being about $300 a month that I get to save for myself. And I haven't had to touch that extra $1,000 that I got in May, so we are well on track. So those 4 funds add up to $249, which is on track for what I should be saving most months of the month, if it's not a month where I get a dividend payout. So that's $249 added. And because this is the end of the first half of the year, when we tally that up, I have been able to save $3,000 for the year. 2,000 of my own and 1,000 from that extra $1,000 check that I got in May. So we are on track, more on track, and we're just gonna pray that it stays that way. Moving on to how low spending was. Low spending was not important to me in June, so my balance on my credit card did not go down. It's still $430. I am picking up low spend July. Right now, when you guys see this video, it's going to be like the 17th or the 16th. But again, that's not going to go to my credit card. So my goal for my credit card is to have it not go above 430. I might try to get it down to 400, but I will reevaluate that in December. What I'm trying to do is see how much money I have at the end of December and hopefully put that huge chunk to my second mortgage. And that's pretty much it, y'all. I am not stressed out about doing no spend right now. I'm just treating myself like I just don't have any money. I don't have it. And finding every way to go around spending the money. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I don't get tired and rebound and take myself on a shopping spree. It is possible. That does happen sometimes when you get tired of being cheap with yourself. But I'm thinking about how happy I'll be when I have to wire that $5,100 payment to the bank and they won't ever have to hear from me again. I will be free from them. I really do feel like I am enslaved to this $5,000 second mortgage where the balance doesn't go down. I'm not okay with that. That's all I have for now, guys. Thank you so much for checking in with me. I will be back in about a month's time to give you what's going on in this month, and let me know in the comments how you have been doing this first half of the year with your emergency fund savings. Talk to you guys later. Bye.